got this, man.
Alan?
Yes,
I'm Whitney. Are you ready?
as I'll ever be.
Come on in. Please have a seat.
Thank you.
Now, before we begin, I'd like to quickly go over confidentiality with you. Everything you say in here stays in here, unless your safety or the safety of others is at risk. Does that make sense?
It does. Thank you.
Now, Alan, I want to talk to you about your case, but first, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm a filmmaker, a writer.
Wow, that's impressive. How long have you been making films?
Just about a year or so. I've actually won a few awards for it.
You can see the glimmer in your eyes when you talk about it. Must be nice to be recognized for the work that you do.
Yeah, especially, after everything that I've been through.
Can you tell me more about that, Alan?
I've been through a lot of traumatic events, so I don't really know where to begin.
That's understandable. It can be difficult to talk about trauma, especially with someone that you've just met. If you're not comfortable talking about things today, that's okay.
I'm sorry, it's just really hard to talk about.
It's okay. What's been weighing on you lately?
My mother.
What happened to your mother?
She died when I was very young.
Must have been very difficult. How old were you when she died?
I was 8.
Sorry to hear that. Who did you live with after your mother died? Was it your dad?
No. No, he never really came around. He'd bounce back and forth, but in the end he would always disappoint me.
How did that make you feel?
Like garbage. He would always make promises that he would never keep, like telling me he'd come to my birthday party. Then I'd wait for him all day and he'd never show up. Or he'd promise to take me fishing on Saturdays. And he'd never come pick me up. Do you know the worst part of it is that I would believe him. I would believe him. He was very convincing. But at the end of the day, he never failed to fail me.
Sounds like there weren't a lot of people in your life who you could trust.
No. That's why I trusted Shane so much.
Who is Shane?
A bad man.
Can you tell me more about the bad man, Alan?
I feel... I'm sorry, I feel weak.
It's making you feel weak.
The memories... The pain that he put me through was unbearable. I had no idea what he was doing. I was just a kid.
I'm really sorry that you went through that. Who was Shane to you? Was he a family friend?
Well, him and his wife would babysit me. They were part of the church, and they would watch me whenever my mom was at work.
How long did he babysit you?
A few weeks. My mom could tell that something was wrong whenever she would pick me up from their house, so she found another babysitter. A lot nicer to me, but I could never forget what he did to me. It's something that will be anchored to me for the rest of my life. I mean, I trusted him. He taught me how to play baseball. He was there. And it was good for a few weeks. We'd go to museums. We'd go out to dinner at restaurants, and those were things that my mom and I never did. For one, we couldn't afford it. And for two, she was working all the time. So it was weird. It was foreign to me. But it was a nice change of pace. After a couple of weeks, things started to change.
How so?
He,
Just breathe in and breathe out. You're doing great, Alan.
he would, he would lock me in a room.
Shane? He'd lock you in a room.
Yeah. They would leave me in there for hours. It hurt so bad, emotionally, physically.
Tell me more about how it hurt you emotionally.
Sometimes I feel like I'm still in that room. Like I'm his slave, his toy that he can just do whatever with. And I need help to get out of that room. Please help me.
Traumatic events can leave invisible scars long after those events have passed. Sometimes the negatives that damage us hide the positives that can free us. Alan, what are some of the positives in your life right now?
Well, my friends. Being able to do film. Those things gave me a life I never knew I could have again. Especially my best friend. She became a light in my darkness.
Tell me a little bit more about that light.
It makes me feel loved, worthy, like I'm not alone anymore. And I'm grateful, truly, because I haven't had that in a long time. Not since my mom died.
What do you think your mom would tell you if she were here with us right now?
That she's proud of me. That she'd want me to be happy.
I think so too. Alan, you are so resilient. I'm proud of you, and you should be proud of yourself too. Today, you're taking the first step toward healing. Be patient with yourself. Give yourself grace. If you need to be emotional, be emotional. Focus on your friends and your passions. You can really see a light in your eyes when you talk about them.
Well, they are my light. I feel like I've let everything quench that light for so long, but not anymore.
Let's make sure that no one puts that light out ever again. It sounds like you found yourself an amazing group of friends that are helping you keep that light shining bright.
I'm not letting that light ever go out again.
Alan, I want to thank you for coming and being so courageous, talking with me today. I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Well, how'd it go?
Thank you for being my light.